Gilded Knight. I have a I have Gilded Knight on both of them. I don't even remember getting Starlight Abyss. Gilded Dawn, there it is. Oh wait, actually no, Gilded Dawn actually go to work with a all white Widow. No one, now that I think about it, no, it actually could have worked with where's it? Here. Got that. Go up here. Hello, my king.
Yell if you say something!
Have you heard a weird noise that sounded like me and struggling to speak? I don't know how I managed to do that. Okay, so also if you see that bird over there, that is a hawk that they've trained to fight on their side. So they've now trained hawks to fight on their side.
What did I see? Someone that saw just
Bro was struggling.
How can I fight a ghost? This is impossible!
Oh god, please. Also, you're probably wondering what that red meter that says ghost stance is. You want to see what that is? This is what that does. So essentially, the story that follows Atsu and Jin Sakai, which Jin Sakai is the main antagonist in Ghost of Tsushima, and Atsu is the main antagonist in Ghost of Yoti. The story that follows them is both tragic and also interesting because Jin dies in the Battle of Tsushima, and he's a samurai that dies in the Battle of Tsushima. And the wind, then there's a strong gust of wind that then goes around his sword, and that then resurrects Jin, and Jin is resurrected by a current of wind that then resurrects him from the dead, and is actually a spirit of wind that resurrects him. So then he try to fight against, for example, Portal Khan. That's a son of Genghis Khan. That's the main villain in Ghost of Tsushima. So he fights against Portal Khan and kills him. And that's where he gets a name called Ghost. So he gets a name called Ghost of Tsushima. And essentially, he gets a name called that because of what he is. The enemies come up with names because how frightened they are of him. And same with the Atsu. So she gets pinned to a tree with a sword, and someone lights the tree on fire when she's pinned to the tree with a sword, and she breaks free of the tree, and now she's hunting down all the enemies that have pinned her and killed her family and supposedly killed her. And she's now what Jin was, which is a ghost, but in this case a Onro, which is a ghost. So that's why when you hear an enemy say, it's the Onro, she's real, essentially they're saying it's the ghost, she's real. Essentially, they are frightened because of what they've done in the past and what they've done, killing Atsu and her family, but killing her family and then immediately truly killing her, but now she is a ghost. So that's the interesting thing about this story and then Ghost of Tsushima story, because they're both tragic and then they're also a bit interesting. And also, you might be thinking, how am I supposed to get past that? You might be thinking that. Well, I've got a solution for that. The solution for that is this.
Something! I'm looking! They're still here! I know it!
Solution. Already got ghost stance. Already got ghost stance again. That's the solution. Okay, so the whole right side, that's clear. There's a... I swear, there's... What are the chances of me hitting this shot? What are the chances? That, by the way, that was without me slowing time down. I slowed time down to actually get the last one. That was me doing it without time being slowed down. So this was actual real time of me doing it. Also, you want to see something cool? So Atsu also, an interesting thing about her, she also has a bond with wolves. And something that her father named her and her brother are twin wolves. So the twin wolves are her and Jubei. Jubei is Atsu's brother. And because of that, Atsu now has a bond with wolves. So I could do this. I'll wait for her to turn back around so then I could sneak up behind her and do this because there's another enemy remaining. And what Atsu do is essentially this. And now I have a wolf by my side.
Somebody's there! She's here!
Lord Saito's forces are unstoppable.
Please! Enough!
Then start talking. Tell me where I can find more of Saito's forces.
There's an encampment northwest of Shojin Hills. They have Bohia and are well entrenched. I'd keep my distance.
Go.
And that's interesting. So each time that Atsu actually encounters an enemy
Did you kill all?
and encounters each enemy, and she asks the enemy where are more enemy encampment sets up. The enemies aren't composed and are frightened, and their voices shaken. That's usually how they are. She was composed, and her voice was not broken, and she was actually truly composed and actually kept her will to actually speak straight. That is something I've never noticed about a enemy. She actually truly wasn't broken by Atsu at all or frightened. So
These men yourself?
I did.
We were sent here
that's
to
impressive.
take this farm back from Saito's men.
I guess the hard part's over.
Then, thank you. My men will take over. I need to let my commander know there's supplies here we can use. More of Saito's men! They're trying to take it back! Hold your positions!
Sword.
Ground, Matsuman!
There's more coming from up the hill.
Show them no! I can only... Death to the enemy! Can't win now! Push forward!
There's still more? Oh, I know what that is. That's a dude that gives them buffs. I'm still not detected, so I'm still fine. One, two, three.
You fight with exceptional skill. There have been rumors of an Onryo stalking Saito's men.
I wouldn't know anything about that. I'm just giving them what they deserve.
Well, thank you for your assistance. Matsumae! Fortify this position! No one's taking it back!
Well, that went well. And so the skin I'm using, and this is the skin I'm using on my swords. This is now my new favorite skin because the interesting thing about it is it's a dual tone skin. So what that means is there's a dual skin for it. This is Gilded Dawn. This is from me fighting a legendary swordsman, or that is thought to be dead, and people or Ronin are now naming themselves the disciples of him, and essentially with that, Takozawas, or essentially there's Ronin named themselves disciples of Takozawa, and they're naming themselves that, and they go to each tree that has notes on it, which are the notes are names of enemy Takozawa has killed, and they're going to each tree and naming themselves disciples. And what Takozawa, because he's still alive, he faces Atsu, and he finds her and says, when you have killed each of these enemies, find me, or I will find you. And he was saying to Atsu, I didn't ask for disciples or fame. All I wanted was peace. And from doing this and killing him, you get this move, which is essentially this. You would then get to do that with your dual katanas, and each move is different. And from then killing Takozawa, you also get the loadout I was using, which is Straw Hat of Unrivaled, and then there's not a mask for Unrivaled, so I was using mainly just one of these masks that I have. So I could use this one, and this one doesn't really have a black shader, so essentially I could use let's see. I could use Mask of Silence, and then Nine-Tail Armor will be like that. Oh, with this, there is another interesting thing, and that is this. You see how it says L1 at the top, and then it has a 5, which is the I and V. So, you see how it has that? Essentially, the I and V, which that's Roman numerals for 5. That means that I've maxed out my armor. And I could press L1 or R1 to go from how the armor was looking when I first ever got it at its default, and it could go from then to the max. So this is what it looks like default. I press R1 once, it goes to this, and pay attention closely to Atsu's hands and look at her gloves when I actually go from this to the other. The second is gloves. This is the second. And now she has claws. This is the last upgrade for the Nine-Tail armor, which is the Kitsune's armor. So, Nine-Tailed Fox armor. This is the last one. And I have maxed this out. And you could pay attention closely going down. And this armor is actually the Jin Sakai's armor from Ghost of Tsushima, And this is actually his armor when he was a ghost. Because this is the armor of the ghost. This is what that is. This is exactly what Jin wore in Ghost of Tsushima. And I was running this loadout for a while. And I was using this exact loadout, literally. I had black katanas, I had a black ghost mask, and I had a black straw hat. And I wore that exact loadout in Ghost of Tsushima. And I actually still have the pictures on my phone from when I actually wore a loadout like that. And I actually could send you them in Discord. And I still have the pictures of when I used it. Because I took screenshots when I played Ghost. And I saved them on my phone. And the pictures that I had taken are still saved. So, essentially, I have those pictures from years ago still saved on my phone. If I could find them. I thought I had them. This way I accidentally didn't get rid of them. Nope. Let's see. If I can't find them, then it's fine. Essentially, there is a few that essentially there's a few Ghost of Tsushima digital arts that I got because I got the digital deluxe of Ghost of Tsushima, and this was years ago. I have 2 pieces of digital art from that, and I could send that to you. And essentially, what the digital art is, it is art that honestly I don't even think they actually truly released this art for the game. And this was fan art that a fan made. But then the developers actually liked it so much that they asked the fan if they could actually buy it off of them. And now they actually have this art as art for Ghost of Tsushima. And essentially, the art, I actually have this saved to my phone because one of the fans, because I was one of the fans of Ghost of Tsushima, and one of the fans was one of my friends. So they sent me this, and this is the art that they made, that my friend made for Ghost of Tsushima. This art they made. And essentially, that is what my friend took. And they took time out their day to make that. And it is impressive because my friend literally, he had never paid attention to video games. He never paid attention to anything related to video games. He never did. He never took time out of his day to play a video game. He never took time to actually listen to a video game soundtrack. And he only paid attention to art. And when the developers were saying, we're looking for someone to, or we're looking for a community to create art for Ghost of Tsushima, he was the first one that responded. And with that, he created that. And that is the most impressive thing that I've actually seen from my friend, because he actually created that. And I still have those saved to my phone. And I've had them saved to my phone because I actually have a date for them, because it says a date of when I had them saved. And essentially, I've had them saved to my phone since February 3rd, 2025. That's when he made them. He made them February 3rd, 2025, and sent me them. And I've had them saved to my phone for that long. And that's essentially what I have. And another thing, I will say this, I'm probably going to head over to, if you want to, I'm going to start another stream, but it's probably going to be because I already speedrunned the Mortal Kombat 1 story, and I speedrunned that, and I just reinstalled Mortal Kombat 1 2 days ago, and I've already completed the story again. And I'm probably going to head over there and do the story again, but if it's not a story, then I'm probably just going to do towers. So I'm going to do a stream for Mortal Kombat 1 if you want to see how my playstyle varies from being this, and then automatically switching over to that, which you'd be impressed